The Greyhound Stories. A lot of people wanted to know how I made it around the United States. Well, there it is. The Greyhound. Greyhound sells Ameripasses. Now you can do it for 90 days. You pay for the one pass, and you know what happens? You can go anywhere Greyhound goes for 7, 14, 21, 28, 30, 60, or 90. Good in Mexico and Canada. Okay, I did love Greyhound probably in the 70s, but now it's some slick folks on Greyhound. Be careful. There are people on Greyhound who will pretend they've been robbed so you can feed them, which I did it. Oh, somebody just grabbed my wallet. I'm on my way to California. I'm not going to have nothing to eat. They'll pickpocket you. Women get into arguments. Some of the bus drivers can be really nasty. That was last year, my last and final time of ever riding Greyhound. The driver would get off the bus this last time and lock us on the bus. Now, what if someone went crazy on the bus, like that guy that cut off that man's head on a Greyhound bus? We couldn't even get out except through the emergency windows. But Greyhound is a good way to really see the towns because it always pulls up into downtown. I don't have time on this tape to tell you all the places I've been. But like I told you, Montana, Kalispell, Montana, South Dakota, of course, Las Vegas was a place that I really loved. I liked Washington, D.C. I liked the state of Washington. I liked California. Now, I didn't do this all in one year. I must have owned about 6 Greyhound passes, and I would do it in the summer when my daughter was out of school. And that was about the only time I could do it, when she was out of school. But on my own, I could go anytime. But when I had a job, you know, you only get like the most, as long as you stay, a 6 weeks vacation. And most of that time, I just headed for Acapulco and stayed there for 6 weeks with my husband and my daughter when she came along. We put her in school down there. The what do you call it? The bathrooms can be nasty. It was easier for me when I had my daughter as my seatmate. Could never get my husband to take Greyhound. When my daughter was a seatmate, I didn't have to share with some people. One lady, she was so huge and she was so sweet, but she did take up 3/4 of the seat. And she says, "Honey, do you have enough space? I know I'm a big one." I said, "Yeah, I'm okay," as I was hugging the armrest. But she was nice. But I can kind of understand if you're oversized where they want to charge you. She would have been much comfortable if she had had 2 seats. Another thing, one thing say, Greyhound has never lost luggage. Even when the luggage was misplaced, they sent it back to me. Another thing that a problem is some people who ride the Greyhound, they don't wash up. They get on in New York and ride to California without ever brushing their teeth or washing their face and wearing the same clothes. I taught my daughter how to take old underwear, and when we get in a place, what we did was we went into the bathroom, I took my little bowl with me, and we washed up. And we threw the old underwear away and put on new underwear. Not new underwear, but other old underwear. You understand what I mean? You got that drawer full of underwear that you don't really wear. Well, that's the type of underwear you take, panties, bras, on the Greyhound. One time I went into the bathroom. I thought I'd gone into the men's bathroom because there was this guy standing up there. I said, "Oh, excuse me, I'm in the wrong bathroom." He said, "Oh, yeah, you're in the right bathroom. I'm waiting for my mom." Now, I'm telling you, I'm 5'9". This guy was about 5'7". And you know what I have to do at the sink? I have to wash up because we got like a 30-minute break. I told him, I says, "Honey," I says, "you're a little too big to be in the women's bathroom. Why don't you wait outside for your mom?" All of a sudden, this lady speaks in Spanish. Be careful now. You never know who speaks Spanish. She told him in Spanish, "You stay right where you are and don't pay any attention to her. Don't you leave." And I answered her in Spanish. I said, Señora, él necesita salga de este baño. Yo hablo español también, el mismo de tú. Oh my God, was she shocked. I told her, Señora, he's going to have to leave this bathroom. I speak Spanish just like you do. He doesn't have to go anywhere. I said, yes, he is going. So I went outside the bathroom, and I got the lady that owned the restaurant. This was in Colorado. And she came in, and she says, I'll give you our private bathroom. She is wrong. He is too big to be in the women's bathroom. Now, why didn't she take him put him in a stall and shut the door, and no one would have known he was in there? Well, she started talking her Spanish, and I talked it right back with her. And then her buddy was next door. So all of a sudden, they told me to shut up. And I'm going to tell you, I'm sweet on here, but I told her she could shut the F up too. And Grandma don't travel that I don't have a friend with me. And I said, let me get on out here before I get arrested. So they were riding my bus too. Well, we exchanged some choice words, and that was it. They never bothered me anymore. That's one thing I'm going to say. I know people are raping your little boys in the men's bathroom and everything like that. But if you're going to bring a big boy that's about 5'7" in the women's bathroom, could you hide him in the stall until you do what you got to do? Another thing on Greyhound was San Francisco. Oh my God, that was just a nightmare. I'm going to tell you, mostly near the Greyhound bus stations, that's really the trashiest Skid Row part of town in some places. They were begging, but I'm telling you, I'm from Chicago, so I had that ghetto swag. I ain't stupid. And most of the time, hey, sister, how you doing? I said, I'm fine, baby. How you? What's going on? You got some money? I said, baby, I was just getting ready to ask you for some money. I ain't got nothing. Where's the closest shelter to come eat? You throw that out there because then they know you're not going to be a Vic. You ain't got nothing. Don't nobody want to rob nobody that's poor as they are. And that's what I would have to say. Don't carry any purses. Don't wear all your jewelry. Please don't act like you got anything. Act like you're the poorest person on earth. You know, take your water. The food is terrible on Greyhounds. Very expensive. And they fill up the buses real quick. If you can, try not to use the bathrooms because they're just like filthy. And that's the people that do that. Greyhound doesn't do that. That's the people that do that. One place that I really did like was Washington, D.C. If you go to that train station in Washington, D.C., oh my God, it's like Taste of Chicago in the basement of it. Every restaurant from around the world, like the food court, oh my God, the very good eating. In Washington, I stayed at the William Penn House. That was a hostel. It was right across the street from the Capitol, and that's a cheap way to stay when you're in Washington. I practically know some cheap places to stay and expensive places to stay wherever you want to go. And you can see it anywhere on the internet if you just, search and check it yourself. But Greyhound, no, I'll never ever take another Greyhound trip because just like America's gotten bad, Greyhound has gotten bad. It's pitiful too because at one time the drivers were so nice, and there's still a few nice drivers. I had one lady, she was so sweet from Minneapolis. She was having trouble seeing something. I had a little magnifying glass with a light. So when she left, she says, "Oh, thank you, darling." She gave it back to me. And then I says, "No, baby, you can keep it. I've got quite a few of those. I buy them when they're on sale." She says, "Are you kidding?" I said, "No." She says, "I got to do something for you. Please, give me your address. Please, I want to do something. I'm going to send you." I said, "You don't have to." She says, "But you're such a nice lady, please." So I went on and gave her my address. She was about 80 years old. And when I came home, it was a big box here for me. The woman laid me out with presents. I had to call her up and say, "Please, ma'am, don't send anything. I've got her address." So I just want to let you know that just be nice to people and it comes back to you. I didn't need anything she was sending me because I got everything that I want. So, but that was sweet. She was in Minneapolis. I stayed at a beautiful South Dakota 3,000-acre cattle ranch called the Flying Bee Ranch. South Dakota was nice. Rapid City. It's got a lot of black history in South Dakota, whether you know it or not. I went into the store and the guy said, "Are you from Chicago?" I said, "Why? Do I look like Chicago?" He said, "No, I just asked every person." I said, "Every black person, right?" So I have fun when I travel. Just like I talk to you guys on here, I'm the same way when I'm on the road. But just watch yourself. Use Greyhound, but watch yourself. Okay, here's happy trails to you, and Judy, Judy, Judy signing off. Grandma loves you.